हरि ओम्। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सांख्ययोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच एषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे त्विमां शृणु। बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया पार्थ कर्मबन्धं प्रहस्यसि। नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते। स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्। व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः एकेह कुरु नन्दन। बहुशाखाह्यनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनां। यामिमां पुष्पितां वाचं प्रवदन्त्यविपश्चितः। वेदवादरताः पार्थ नान्यदस्तीति वादिनः। कामात्मानः स्वर्गपराः जन्मकर्मफलप्रदां क्रियाविशेषबहुलां भोगैश्वर्यगतिं प्रति। भोगैश्वर्यप्रसक्तानां तयापहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते। त्रैगुण्यविषया वेदाः निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन। निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थः निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्। यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः। कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन। मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भूः मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्वकर्मणि। योगस्थः कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जय। सिद्ध्यसिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योग उच्यते। हरिः ओम्। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्।
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः। भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः। स्थिरैरङ्गैः सुष्ठुवागं सस्तनूभिः। व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः। स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः। स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः। स्वस्ति पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। मनो हि द्विविधं प्रोक्तं शुद्धं चाशुद्धमेव च। अशुद्धं कामसङ्कल्पं शुद्धं कामविवर्जितम्। मन एव मनुष्याणां कारणं बन्धमोक्षयोः बन्धाय विषयासक्तं मुक्तं निर्विषयं स्मृतम् यतो निर्विषयस्यास्य मनसो मुक्तिरिष्यते अतो निर्विषयं नित्यं मनः कार्यं मुमुक्षुणा निरस्तविषयासङ्गं सन्निरुद्धं मनोहृदि यदा यात्यात्मनो भावं तदा तत्परमं पदम् तावदेव निरोधव्यं यावद् हृदि गतं क्षयम् एतज्ज्ञानं च ध्यानं च शेषो न्यायश्च विस्तरः नैव चिन्त्यं न चाचिन्त्यं न चिन्त्यं चिन्त्यमेव तत् पक्षपातविनिर्मुक्तं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा स्वरेण सन्धयेत् योगम् अस्वरं भावयेत् परम् अस्वरेणानुभावेन भावो वा भावयिष्यते तदेव निष्कलं ब्रह्म निर्विकल्पं निरञ्जनम् तद्ब्रह्माहमिति ज्ञात्वा ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते ध्रुवम् निर्विकल्पमनन्तं च हेतुदृष्टान्तवर्जितम् अप्रमेयमनादिं च यज्ञात्वा मुच्यते बुधः न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः न बद्धो न च साधकः न मुमुक्षुर्न वै मुक्तः इत्येषा परमार्थता एक एवात्मा मन्तव्यो जाग्रत् स्वप्न सुषुप्तिषु स्थानत्रयव्यतीतस्य पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते एक एव हि भूतात्मा भूते भूते व्यवस्थितः एकधा बहुधा चैव दृश्यते जलचन्द्रवत् घटसंवृतमाकाशं नीयमाने घटे यथा घटो नीयेतनाकाशः तथा जीवो नभोपमः घटवत् विविधाकारं भिद्यमानं पुनः पुनः तद्भग्नं न च जानाति स जानाति च नित्यशः शब्दमायावृतो नैव तमसा याति पुष्करे भिन्ने तमसि चैकत्वम् एक एवानुपश्यति शब्दाक्षरं परं ब्रह्म तस्मिन् क्षीणे यदक्षरम् तद्विद्वानक्षरं ध्यायेत् यदिच्छेत् शान्तिमात्मनः द्वे विद्ये वेदितव्ये तु शब्दब्रह्म परं च यत् शब्दब्रह्मणि निष्णान्तः परं ब्रह्माधिगच्छति ग्रन्थमभ्यस्य मेधावी ज्ञानविज्ञानतत्परः पलालमिव धान्यार्थी त्यजेत् ग्रन्थमशेषतः गवामनेकवर्णानां क्षीरस्याप्येकवर्णता क्षीरवत् पश्यते ज्ञानं लिङ्गिनस्तु गवां यथा घृतमिव पयसि निगूढं भूते भूते वसति विज्ञानं सततमन्थयितव्यं मनसा मन्थानुभूतेन ज्ञाननेत्रं समादाय उद्धरेत् वह्निवत् परम् निष्कलं निश्चलं शान्तं तद्ब्रह्माहमिति स्मृतम् सर्वभूताधिवासं यत् भूतेषु च वसत्यपि सर्वानुग्राहकत्वेन तदस्म्यहं वासुदेवः तदस्म्यहं वासुदेव इति।
Hari Om. We will start with the invocation. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. My sincere pranams to Swamiji and namaskar to all fellow sadhaks who have joined us today. Earlier we saw our Chinmaya Jayam Zone Balviyar student Kavya Karant, who chanted the Bhagavad Gita verses, and Srimati Rupa ji, who chanted the Amritabindu Upanishad. I hope Gurudev's blessings always be on them. Also, before starting, I would like to make a few announcements. At the end of the discourse, we'll be having a 10-minute question and answer session. So please post all your questions in the group chat, so Swamiji and all of us can also read and benefit from the answers. Also, as you saw earlier, I would request everyone to log in at least 15 minutes prior. We'll be showcasing the summary of the last week's class, so you can have a revision on that, and also various chants. Every week we'll be having different chants. So please log in at least 15 minutes prior. Also, at the end of the 13 weeks, we'll be providing a soft copy of the transcript. So even in future, you can refer to it and benefit. I will quickly just read out the list of the Yajmans for the discourse. The Sampurna Yajmans for the whole Jnana Yagna are Sri Chittur Manorji, Srimati Radha Kini, and Srimati Nirja Birla. The Sampurna Upayajman for this discourse is Srimati Preeti Saxena. The Dainik Yajman for this discourse is Srimati Srijata Basu. May the grace and blessings of Lord Jagdishvara, Guruji, Gurudev, and the entire Guru Parampara always descend on them, on their families. I would now request Swamiji to continue with the Upanishad. Hari Om.
Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Hari Om, salutations to all. In the first session on Amritabindu Upanishad, we saw about who is the fit student for this Upanishad. The Adhikari, someone who has seen life very closely and knows that no matter how much we achieve, we still feel bound, we still feel empty. And the person has thought, has done vivek and approached a guru. One is not living under the illusion that I am free bird, that who has bound me, nothing can bind me. One sees very clearly that our own mind, our own ego, our own sense of finitude is there, and that just doesn't go in the waking state, definitely doesn't go. In dream it goes, again it comes back. In deep sleep it goes, but it comes back. So how do we come out of that state with that keen desire to know what is that truth, gaining which there is nothing more to be gained? That person approaches the teacher and wants to know that self. So the Vishaya of this Upanishad is like any Upanishad. The main Vishaya of all Upanishads is the oneness of Jiva and Brahma, the oneness of the self here and the universal self. The Jiva Brahma Aikya is the Vishaya. What is the Prayojan? Why does this person want to know this Vishaya? Not because one wants to give some lectures or earn some money or gain some popularity. Really one wants mukti. That intense desire is there. So one has gone to the teacher. And what is the sambandha? The person has, by study of this Upanishad, the person will attain the objective, the result that one seeks. Now this is one of the 5 Bindu Upanishads, and this Upanishad also is called as a minor Upanishad. There are 22 mantras, but in these 22 mantras, see, every mantra of the Upanishad is like one, like a formula. A lot is hidden in it. Suppose we say E is equal to mc squared. The theory of relativity is there in that one equation. Like that, every mantra of Upanishad is like that. Lot of deep knowledge is there in that. How much we reflect, that much we can benefit from it. So though this has only 22 mantras, these mantras cover what is the mind, what is the bondage of the mind, what is the self, how to prepare oneself. Omkara Upasana is given in this. How to prepare oneself to realize the absolute truth. What is the method of contemplation? What is the limitation of conceptual thinking and how to transcend that conceptual thinking into the realm of experience? What is the role of the study of scriptures? Many such topics it covers very beautifully, and some of the very popular verses also are there in this Upanishad. So the study of the Upanishad begins with a Shanti mantra that a disciple and the teacher together chant so that the mind is tuned. The minds of both of them are tuned to a common altar. So if the teacher has tuned the mind to the Lord, the disciples have tuned the mind to the Lord, that is the tuning that has happened, then Bhagwan only is actually the Guru. Bhagwan only reveals this knowledge. He is the only revealer of this knowledge. Without him, nothing can happen. So both tune up their mind to the Supreme, invoke the grace. So a Shanti mantra is chanted, and we will find that different Vedas have different Shanti mantras. Some have, so each Veda has many Shanti mantras. But generally we see that one Shanti mantra is common in the Upanishads of that Veda. So suppose this is Atharva Veda Upanishad. So Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. That's a common Upanishad Shanti mantra for Upanishads which we find in this Atharva Veda. So Mandukya Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Kaivalya Upanishad, Amritabindu Upanishad, all of them will have the same Shanti mantra. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. And this mantra is very famous. This is actually a Shanti mantra which has many benefits, but many people remember this, at least the second half of this, because so many places they will just chant this. For any occasion they will chant. In many serials and this programs you will find. Swastina Indro Vriddha Shravaha, they start chanting. That's there in this mantra only. So why is the Shanti mantra chanted? To tune the minds, to invoke peace. This knowledge is subtler than the subtlest, and without quiet mind we cannot reflect, and then we further cannot contemplate. So quietude is very important of the mind, and the mind must be doing nothing else at that time. Those of you who are listening, please try and listen with full attention, doing nothing else. Maximum, if you want, you write some notes of the talk. But because we are in the online session, people do anything. They are lying on the bed, happily listening to it, chatting with people, doing some cooking, doing some other job, handling the phone calls. Don't do that. This is Brahma Vidya. If one listens with full attention, Vedant, the principle in Vedanta is Shravanam Matrena Jnanam Bhavati. If one listens with full attention, the mind is prepared, realization is immediate, instant, more instant than anything that we find instant in this world. Instant coffee, instant noodles, all that. Immediate realization is. So with full attention, one has to listen. So to bring the mind into that quiet, attentive state, where nothing is more important. Janak Maharaj was such a great king, managing such a huge Mithila, the kingdom, and so many affairs of the kingdom. But when he sits in that satsang of Ashtavakra Muni, nothing matters to him. Everything put aside. For that time, whatever it is, half an hour, 1 hour, the world does not exist. One is fully attentive, listening to the self-knowledge. Then this knowledge goes inside, reflection can happen properly, contemplation can happen. In the Gita, Bhagavan says that Nasti Buddhi Ayuktasya, one who is not integrated, one whose body is in one place, mind is in some other place, intellect is thinking something else, is called disintegrated person, Ayukta. Nasti Buddhi Ayuktasya. This buddhi is not available to that person. Nacha yuktasya bhavana, nor is the feeling available. And the bhav that I am the jiva is very strong. Even if one is listening, one keeps feeling I am this jiva. That feeling that yes, I am Brahman, not there. So if buddhi is not there, bhavana is not there, nacha bhavayata shantihi. If one can't contemplate steadily that I am Brahman, then one's mind is distracted with so many other things. Ashantasya kuta sukham. How will that person experience supreme happiness? So to bring the mind to a quiet state, attentive state, the teacher and the student both invoke the grace of the Lord. If someone says that, the teacher the student needs this for preparation, but the teacher, why should the teacher chant Shanti mantra? The teacher also remembers that it is only God's grace and he is the only real guru. Nobody else can be the guru. So may I also become completely empty. May the Lord only teach. So that way both the teacher and the student with great sincerity chant the Shanti mantra. So let us enter into this Upanishad. and we chant the Shanti mantra. It is after the introduction, you will find the Shanti mantra is there. Invocation prayer, it is written. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha Bhadram Pashyemakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stushtuvagamsastanubhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vridhashravaha Swasti na Usha Vishvavedaha Swasti nastarksho arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspati'r dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So what does this Shanti mantra do? See, this Shanti mantra does 5 things. Specifically, this Shanti mantra does 5 things to us. It can do many things. I'm saying specifically 5. First one, this Shanti mantra tells us about Arogya, good health. Because the literal meaning of the Shanti mantra is Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama. May we hear what is auspicious. Bhadram Pashyema. May we see what is auspicious. Yajatraha, O worshipful ones, O Devatas. May I see what is auspicious. May I hear what is auspicious. Sthirairangai Tushtuvagam. May my limbs be healthy. May my body be healthy. Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu. And may I live a healthy life for as long as my time is there. My karmas have allotted this time. This life is there. Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu. Swastina Indro Vridhashravaha. May Indra be auspicious to me. Swastina Pusha Vishvavedaha. May the sun be auspicious to me. Swastina Starksho Arishtanemihi. May the wind be auspicious to me. Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu. May the Brihaspati, Guru of the Devatas, be auspicious to me. May there be peace from the cosmic forces, from the beings around, from subjective challenges. This is the literal meaning, basic meaning of the Shanti mantra. So this first thing that the Shanti mantra helps us with is Arogya. Every day one can chant the Shanti mantra and visualize this, that my body is healthy, I am seeing auspicious, I am hearing auspicious. It will help the mind and it will ensure that our inputs are refined. If our inputs are refined, the body will be strong. We'll come to it as we go along in the more details. So Arogya, first it prays for Arogya. Second, it asks for Mangala Anubhuti. May I have auspicious experiences. Our mind lives so much in fear, insecurity, what will happen tomorrow. So much of unrest is there, so much of economic challenges are there, this is there, that is there. So it always lives in fear, insecurity, anxiety, stress, worries. The mantra is to strengthen us by telling us, by praying that may there be auspiciousness. Each of us, our mind is very powerful. If we want auspiciousness, there is a real demand for auspiciousness, the world will have auspiciousness. If each one demands, each one is an individual unit in the world. If everybody wants anyhow to live, anyhow do anything, eat anything, drink anything, watch anything, then one can't help it. But at least I have that control in my mind that I can prevent what is inauspicious because I make myself alert. So it helps in both ways. Individually, I can become alert, and collectively, if we really want auspicious, we will create an auspicious world. Peace comes, like Gurudev Swami Chinmayanand used to say, peace comes not because of some organization or UNO or any such, that they have their own place, but peace comes when every individual wants peace. When he addressed the World Parliament of Religions, not World Parliament of Religions, when he addressed the United Nations General Assembly, the topic they gave him was planet in crisis. He said, he began the talk like that. He said, you open the map, close your eyes, put your finger in any part of the world and you will find that place is boiling with conflict and violence and problems. How will we bring peace to the world? Huge, beautiful talk he gave, and the main gist of that talk lies in that one sentence that he said: in individual redemption alone lies world redemption. If individuals change, then the world will change. World cannot change by itself without individuals changing. So when we pray, we have to have that faith that our existence makes a big difference. What we can do to the whole world, we underestimate that power always. You see great men, they were also individuals, but what impact they have. Adi Shankaracharya ji, one person, what impact he had on the world. Take that in any field, not only spiritual field, in sports, in literature, art, dance, music, anywhere, science, anything you take. The individuals can do a lot. So one must have that confidence and self. Don't underestimate oneself. So it will invoke auspiciousness, Mangal Anubhuti. The more our mind thinks of the auspicious, it will attract the auspicious also. Those of you who believe in that law of attraction, it works or not? There is this only. Every day if I visualize, our culture has all the techniques. Today, any modern technique you take up for self-help, it is already there in our scriptures. What they say in law of attraction, what you visualize, that you realize. Correct. So visualize this. May I see auspicious. May I hear auspicious. May I live a healthy life. Visualize. Thoughts become things. Every creation happens twice. First inside, then outside. So first is Arogya. Second is Mangal Anubhuti. Third is Pratibandha Nivritti. It helps to overcome obstacles by invoking the grace and also by strengthening us and by keeping our focus on our goal. Gurudev used to say that obstacles arise the moment we lose sight of the goal. Otherwise, they are only challenges on the way to the goal which I can overcome. I may get distracted, I may get completely disheartened, I may stop pursuing the goal, I may give up. All those things happen because we lose sight of the goal. Why do I need that goal, etc. So by continuously telling us this, that we are chanting the Shanti mantra, because the most auspicious is what? Is the self. That because of which this Shava becomes Shiva is that infinite consciousness. The most auspicious is that. So the very word Bhadram itself means the self. For the seeker of the Upanishad, the word Bhadram itself means Atma, the self. And that is the goal of the seeker. I want to know who am I truly. So keeping the mind focused on that, keeping the mind focused on the sense control. When I have to see auspicious, hear auspicious, it means some sense control, mind control, all that. If I start developing these qualities, then automatically I have the strength to overcome challenges that come on my way. It can be any goal, not only the subjective goal of realization, even the material goal outside. These prayers give us that inner strength. So Pratibandha Nivritti is the third aspect. Fourth aspect is Anugraha of Bhagavan, because we are invoking the grace. We may put any amount of self-effort that we should put. We can't say that everything is left to God. What can I do? Bhagavan made us human beings because we have self-awareness, gave us the buddhi, gave us knowledge, gave us satsang, such a beautiful opportunity. It is up to us how much we put forth the effort. That effort of ours also is grace of Bhagavan. But that doesn't mean we stop putting effort. We have to put the effort. Very interesting. All these people who say that, what can I do? Everything is dependent on God only now. So why should I put any effort? But they eat food. Why are we even putting that effort to eat food? Anyway, Bhagwan only is doing everything, is digesting inside. No, so let him do. Why are you eating food? No, that I have to do, because only if food goes inside, then the digestion can happen. Bhagwan can do the digestion only after that. Same way, if we put self-effort, only the grace of Bhagwan manifests. You don't want to put self-effort at all and then escape in the name of it is all done by Bhagwan, then that is tamas, laziness. So this tells us to put our efforts and remember that it is all grace of Bhagwan, so that our ego doesn't say it is all my achievement, because that's false. It is not true. And that is what is binding. The notion that I am Mr. So-and-so, I am the Karta, I have achieved so many things, that is what is binding. So that is what one has to be free from. So the student says, O worshipful ones, O Yajatraha, O Devatas, and all the phenomenal forces one is praying to. So this Shanti mantra also helps us to tune ourselves to the cosmic forces around, the nature around us. In our culture, we don't celebrate one day as an environment day, 5th June. I mean, that is all right. We can celebrate one day also. But in our culture, every day is environment friendly day. Because every day we are chanting this and saying that may the sun be auspicious to me, may the wind be auspicious to me, may Indra be auspicious, all that. And for that, I should treat them also auspiciously. If I respect and revere them, then I will not exploit, I will not misuse, I will not abuse, I will not pollute. So, invoke the grace, anugraha. And 5th one is invoking Shanti. What we saw earlier, that Shanti is the most basic requirement for anything in life. If I want harmonious relationship, my mind should be at peace. If continuously I am agitated, I can't be loving and happy to people, then how will a harmonious relationship happen? If I want to achieve great success, my mind should be quiet so that I give the best performance. If I want to achieve spiritual realization, also mind must be quiet. If I want to contemplate, mind must be quiet. If I want some creative idea and I need to think out of the box, mind has to be quiet. And who can give us that peace? You know, one person asked Gurudev. Gurudev came out of the airport. And this person went garlanded Gurudev, prostrated to him, and he says, Swamiji, please give me peace. Shanti nahi hai. Gurudev was in a witty mood. So he said, I just left her in the customs. You should have told me before, I would have brought her. Meaning, who can give you peace? Nobody can give you peace. Knowledge can be given by the teacher. I have to use that knowledge and become peaceful, quiet myself. I can invoke grace of the Lord. I can become peaceful. I can let go of my attachments. I can become peaceful. But all the effort I have to put. So 5 things the Shanti mantra will do. Basic 5 things. There are other things, if one wants to go deeper, one can develop more. But these are for 5 things. Now, what does the mantra say? Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. O Devatas. Now, who are these Devatas? Gurudev is to say these are phenomenal forces around us, and we believe that the entire creation is governed by these sentient forces, phenomenal forces. They are not inert nature. That's the big difference between science and Vedanta. Science thinks that the world is composed of matter. It is inert. It is there for us to, exploit. Vedanta says, no. The whole creation is an appearance of the divine. So the Supreme Lord, who is consciousness alone, manifests as this whole creation, and there are phenomenal forces who are also sentient. So for us, Vayu is not just wind, some gases. It is not that. It's not some oxygen and carbon dioxide and all that. It is Vayu Devata. So the gases are the physical manifestation. There is a sentient entity, the being. which is called Vayu Devata. So we say Vayu Devata, Varun Devata for water, Indra for the rains, Surya for sun. For us, sun is not just a ball of hydrogen and helium. It is a conscious, sentient entity which is manifesting as sun and giving light to the whole creation. So the personification is done to make us aware that the entire creation around us is vibrant, it is sentient, it is living, it is not some inert nature. And a very interesting thing is, most of the indigenous cultures across the world have believed that. It is not only Sanatan Dharma. You look at the indigenous cultures in Africa, in Australia, in America, in all these places, they all believed in the sentiency of the creation because that is a fact. One Devata, Vayu Devata, for us rivers are Ganga Maya, Yamuna Maya, all that. It's not because they were primitive in thinking. And then we have become modern and we know it's only hydrogen and oxygen. What is the big deal? Why are you worshipping all this? So what have we done with that knowledge? Completely exploited and polluted water that today we are drinking water which is completely polluted, which we have to then refine and then drink mineral water. Those people were not doing that. They had a reverence. And the fact is, water is sentient. Whether we believe it or not, it is a fact. There was one video, I will share it later in the WhatsApp group, you will see, where this lady, she says that I speak to water, I had a problem and the water was coming out from the ground and our community needed water, but if the way the water was coming out was such that if it flowed, my house would be completely destroyed. So I was praying for a solution and water did manifest that solution and split into two. And she says water is alive. It's not just because water by itself split into two. The fact is there is sentiency in every part of the creation, because even scientifically speaking, if you see, so-called scientifically speaking, logic, so the effect is pervaded by the cause. If the cause is consciousness, then the effect will have consciousness in everything. Prahlad does not have a doubt to say that, when his father asks him, is your God in this pillar? Without blinking an eye, he says, yes, Bhagwan is in the pillar also. We may see Prahlad only as a devotee, but actually Prahlad is a quantum physicist, if you want to say, because he sees consciousness is the cause of this whole universe. That is what quantum physics will tell you. Traditional physics says matter is the basis of the universe. Quantum physics says no, it is quantum consciousness. Their level of consciousness and what Vedanta speaks is not yet same, but I'm just saying that it will come slowly to that, to Vedanta. But the point is, the creation is pervaded by that which is sentient. It is not inert thing. And if we learn to tune our mind to that sentient forces around us, there is so much that we evolve. So here he says Devaaha. Gurudev, another example Gurudev used to give was that they are like the departmental heads. Now, if we say government functions in Delhi, central government, then there are so many bureaucrats, so many positions across the whole country. Then that is how the system works. The one place from where it operates may be Delhi, but from there everything can't be done. There have to be hierarchy, there have to be people, there have to be various designations, and they are doing the work. Same way, this whole creation has so many different levels. Bhagwan decentralized it. He doesn't do everything all by himself. He believes in delegating power. So he delegated. Brahmaji is the creator, Vishnu Bhagwan is preserver, Shivji is the destroyer, and then the Indra Devata is there. Each Devata is in charge of one aspect of creation. So when we say Hindus believe in 33 crore Devatas, we believe in 33 crore phenomenal forces. They are the Devatas. And they are actually 33 in the category. main categories of devatas are 33. Koti means category. And this is there in Taittiriya Upanishad. I am not saying by myself. Shankaracharya ji wrote in Taittiriya Upanishad commentary, who are these 33? 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 12 Adityas. That becomes 31. Then Indra and Brihaspati, Ashwini Kumars. 33 total. Indra and Ashwini Kumars. Yeah. 8 plus 12, 20, and then 11 Rudras, so 31, and then Indra and Brihaspati, Ashwini Kumars. So this Ashwini Kumars and Brihaspati are interchanged many places. Different scriptures mention different, the slight differences there. These are 33 main categories of devatas. Below them, there are many other functionaries. So if you put all of them together, they will become 33 crore. But we are not believing in 33 crore gods who are, who are supreme. Supreme Lord is only one, and that is nameless, formless, attributeless Brahman only. So Hindus are not, polytheists. We believe in one Supreme Lord alone, nameless, formless, who can manifest in many forms and who also has further devatas to handle the creation. These are the devatas, phenomenal forces. And we worship these devatas. Like Gurudev used to say that if you want to build your own house, you have to propitiate the devatas in the municipal corporation. Go to electricity department, propitiate the devata there. Go to water department, propitiate the devata there. You have to propitiate. Sewage department, go propitiate him. Then with their anugraha, you can build your house properly. It's like that. They are departmental heads. Like that, there are phenomenal forces. So we may believe or not believe, but the fact is they exist. The more we think clearly about it, the more it becomes easy for us. It is not that these were there in Vedic times and today they don't exist. Today they exist. We have lost our culture to tune up with them. That is our problem. Gravity is there from the time creation started. Newton or Aryabhatta may have discovered it at certain point in time. That is their discovery. It is not that it was not there because they didn't discover, or it came into being only when they discovered. No, it is there. Till this creation will last, it will be there. Same way devatas are there even today. And they will continue till the pralaya happens. So when we do any Shanti mantra, or you do any ritual or any puja, whatever it may be, one must have that shraddha that they exist and that they receive the offerings. And the blessings also come. The tradition, the Vedic tradition actually says if we do the ritual properly, the devatas come stand in line to receive the offerings. Otherwise, Agni Devata is their courier agent. He takes it and gives the essence to all the devatas. They will send the blessings. So here, the devatas are being invoked. What is the prayer here? Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama. May we hear what is auspicious. And Bhadram Pashyem Akshabhir Yajatraha. Yajatra means worshipful ones. So may I hear what is auspicious, may I see what is auspicious. These are two senses from where our maximum input comes. There is no, so from which we smell, taste with which we eat, tongue with which we eat food, skin with which we touch. No doubt all senses we take inputs from, but our thoughts mainly come from these two. What we see forms the image in our mind. What we hear forms the word, the sound. Nama and Rupa. Nama is the sound, Rupa is the form. Nama Rupa is our thoughts. So if I don't see auspicious, don't hear auspicious, my thoughts will be what I see, what I hear, that will make my thoughts. Very simple it is. If I see anything vulgar, violent, instigating, cunning, manipulative, all that, then those kind of thoughts only I will also cultivate. If I see auspicious, if I hear auspicious, those thoughts will come, because what we see and hear creates desire in our mind. Initially, that is what happens, and we are not aware. That's why sense control is so important. This mind of ours has to be protected. Like how we protect, our house, we protect, clean it every day and ensure that it is dust free. And now with COVID, to sanitize it again and again. What about the mind? How are we sanitizing the mind? Anything we see, anything we hear, and then we say, Swamiji, Shanti nahi hai. We continuously keep seeing things and doing things which will create Ashanti. Then expect that Shanti will be there in the mind. How is that possible? So the prayer here is that Bhadram Karnebhih, and Karnebhih means many years. Karnabhyam is not said. Karnabhyam means 2 years. Karnebhih means many, many years. Oh, is it that people in those days, Upanishad days, had more years than 2? It's not like that. It means with 2 years, may we hear as though we have some 20, 30, 40 years. Meaning, keep listening. Listening is the main method of getting knowledge. All knowledge comes to us from listening only. Even what we read, first we have heard the sound, understood what it means, then only we are able to read and gain the knowledge or not. Somebody taught us first. They said, this is bha, this is the, this is ka. So we heard. Then we know, okay, this is what this sound means, this is what this word means. So we have heard, they have taught us. And then we improvise upon that. So all knowledge comes to us from listening. And what should we listen? To that which is auspicious. Auspicious doesn't mean only whatever is spiritual. Anything positive, inspiring, one can listen to that, which elevates our thoughts, which keeps us on the path of good values, which helps us not to compromise, which increases sattva guna in our mind, which makes us manifest our potential. All that is called Bhadram. Some inspiring idea, something to serve the society, nothing, even a great plan. If I want to achieve even some financial success or any, startup I want to do, whatever, whatever is inspiring. It doesn't mean only talk about God all the time. That a spiritual seeker who is full-time seeker may want to do. But at other times, other people, then any of these we can do. You know what they say, that famous saying, a gossip talks about others, a bore talks about oneself. But those who are inspiring, they talk about great ideas, great projects, great events. So what we speak about, what we hear is very important. Mantra, she said some things to Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi should have stopped her at that time, saying, don't talk all this. Because her insecurity, she is planting in mantra in Kaikeyi's mind. Kaikeyi loves Bhagavan Ram so much. She is so happy that he is going to be made the prince. But that one prasang where she heard mantra and she allowed those inputs to go inside, finished. Is that not what happens? So many times relationships are spoiled because of that. We may be trusting somebody so deeply, and then somebody comes and instigates and poisons our mind. It sometimes is not even true. If it is true, it's first of all my responsibility to find out, is it true or not? But one just gets swept away by the emotions, the likes and dislikes, and ego takes over. One forgets everything. So when we allow those things to go inside, the mind gets disturbed. Bhagavan, that's why he says here in this Shanti mantra, may we see what is auspicious, may we hear what is auspicious. Whatever helps me to move towards the path of the divine. For a sadhak, for an adhikari, anything that helps me to move towards the divine is auspicious, which takes me away from the divine is inauspicious. Which makes me introvert and makes me live in balance, live in certain dharmic way, that is Bhadram. Which makes me compromise, which makes me more and more extrovert, more and more desires it creates in the mind, inauspicious. In the Narad Bhakti Sutra, he says, even to develop bhakti, here we are talking about jnana. Even to develop bhakti, he says, don't gossip, don't talk about pleasurable things, don't talk about negative things, don't talk about the enemy. Vairi charitram, don't talk about. Because that dvesha will increase. Don't fancifully imagine about sense pleasures. That will again pull the mind down. So what am I hearing? What am I speaking? If I hear auspicious, I will speak auspicious also. And I will see auspicious. I will conduct myself in an auspicious way. Now, very interesting is if I want to hear what is auspicious, I first of all should speak auspicious. So it works both ways. When I hear auspicious, I will speak auspicious. And when I speak auspicious, the first person to hear what I am saying is me myself, my own ears. So when I want to hear auspicious, it also means I should speak auspicious. Not go on doing some gossip, backbiting, and there's some strange pleasure one derives out of that, pulling people down. One seeker doesn't do all that. One is interested in working together selflessly, uplifting people, not wanting to pull down people. We are not crabs. We are human beings. We forget that. So, Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. All these one can do exercises. One can identify, is my speech auspicious or not? Am I hearing what is auspicious? How many young people today, they think to use slang words, to use any abusive words is a sign of being cool. Most immature thought process is that. Language purity is very important. That our culture insists on that, language purity, because it shows mind purity also. When the mind is not pure, when the mind is not in control, any language one uses, any abusive words one uses, and one thinks one is great just because one is using that. That is stupidity. More a delusion it is. To speak politely, to speak assertively without being insulting, to speak for the benefit, that requires purity, that requires mastery, that shows the culture, that shows the kind of mind control also. How to present. So when I hear auspicious, I speak auspicious. When I speak auspicious, I hear auspicious. Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. Ears must be ever open to gain more knowledge and completely closed to all kinds of negative influences, unnecessary talk, small talk sometimes, petty talk. All that is not required for a seeker. Already the mind of ours is polluted by our own desires. Why do we want to take the kachara of other people and pollute that? It is pathetic. So, seeker knows that time is very less in life. To realize the self, such a lot of effort has to be put in that. Why get into all this? So, Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. And this is a training for both the teacher and the student. The student also must speak auspicious to the teacher, and teacher also vice versa. Teacher is not somebody who go on criticizing the student, saying what a dumb fool you are, idiot you are, I don't think you will ever realize. How many teachers go on criticizing the student and hit at their confidence? Especially in school and all that, we see so many times it happens. The child may not be good in a particular subject. So what? The child may have capabilities in other fields. That has to be tapped. But they go on criticizing. So the confidence of the person goes down. So especially in Brahma Vidya, the topic is very subtle. Gurudev used to say that the teacher must have that much patience that if the student is asking the same doubt the 1000th time, you should be able to answer with the same patience and love that you have answered first time. Imagine what is the responsibility of the teacher also. One can't say, how many times to tell you same thing again and again? Because this is very subtle. Even at the 1000th time, if one gets it, job is done. So the teacher also must speak auspicious to hear auspicious. Student also must know how to approach a teacher and talk, not just somehow talk anything, be casual about it. Don't bother about what kind of expression, tone, attitude. In Gurudev's time, there were people, and he used to joke about it in his talks also, that you can't call up the Guru and say, hey Guru, tell me how to get moksha. On a telephone, I cannot give you this. You come. You have to understand few things. Moksha is not some commodity available like that. You can order on a phone call. It's not some app nowadays. Order moksha and home delivered. So one has to have a certain attitude, which will help the student only. The teacher doesn't want any respect. It will help the student. So student's responsibility. Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha. Bhadram Pashyem Akshabhir Yajatraha. Please see auspicious. See the form of Bhagwan. The mind of the student will be such that if the student is doing upasana, one will keep seeing the form of the Lord and keep remembering that form. Most auspicious is form of Bhagwan. Oh Swami, if I am a formless contemplator, then anyway I am not interested in seeing anything outside of the world. I am turned within, meditating on the self. So anyway, that is auspicious. So may I see that form of the Lord, may I contemplate on the nature of that Lord. So for me to see auspicious, I have to live in a clean way. I should not dirty the surroundings, the place that I am in, the table where I am working, the desktop which is there. It must be clean, neat, nice. Then I see auspicious. So Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyaama Devaaha, Bhadram Pashyem Akshabhir Yajatraha. So auspicious means all this. What helps me to become more positive, more sattvic, which takes me closer to the goal, which invokes more inspiration within me, which makes me come out of my laziness, lethargy, selfishness, which helps me to live uncompromisingly. All this is Bhadram. Then he says, Thirai Rangai Tushtuvagam Sastanubhihi. May I live a healthy life. May the limbs of my body be healthy. In Yaksha Prashna, one of the questions that is asked by Yaksha, again a divine being, to Yudhishthir. There's one, it's like a rapid fire, rapid fire round. Fat he asks questions and Yudhishthir answers in one word. So Yaksha asks, what is one of the greatest blessings? And there Yudhishthir says, good health. If health is good, then one can even go beyond body identification. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult because the sickness, disease, pain keeps the attention of the mind on the body. So for a spiritual seeker, maintenance of the body is very important. So many people think, I am not the body, is what Vedanta is saying. So why should I bother about the body, eat anything, drink anything, sleep anytime? Why? Because I am not the body. Body is important. It's a proper tool and tool has to be maintained. If the tool is not maintained properly, then it will create all kinds of trouble. And today for us, it is actually we are not thinking of it as a tool. We are thinking, I am this. So the pain of the body is my pain. So how will I come out of that identification if the body is not maintained properly? So Vedantic student takes care of the body. May not be pampering the body. That is not necessary. Taking care is important. And I always give this. Many of you have heard me before. The formula is FEST. If I keep the body in this way, FEST, then the body will be a good tool. Life will be a festival. Otherwise, body will be a pest. Pain it will be. So what is F? Food. Take sattvic food as much as one can, which has high pranic energy, which is raw, all those things. Fruits, vegetables, sprouts, dry fruits, avoid non-veg, all those. See the sattvic food description in the 17th chapter of the Gita. So, food, sattvic. E, exercise, at least 20 minutes a day, minimum 5 times a week. S, for sleep. Sleep nicely, properly, at least minimum 7 to 8 hours. Then the body has rested well. One will be fresh. Especially the mind work is more exhausting. When one has to continuously study, reflect, contemplate, it is more tiring. The maximum sugar is burnt by our brain. So that's why when we read, etc., we feel more, reading, talking, reflecting, contemplating, one feels sugar craving more and more. Why? Because it is being used. F, E, S, and T, train the senses. What we saw earlier, Bhadram, Karnebhih, Shrunuyaama, Devaaha, Bhadram, Pashyama, Akshabhirya, Jatraha. So we can make a list of all these things. What I'm seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, touching, is it Bhadram or not? If I'm drinking alcohol, I should stop. If I want to develop Vivek Buddhi, alcohol is exact opposite of that. It will create more moha, delusion. Same way, what I'm seeing, what kind of things I'm seeing on the phone, on the television, in the newspapers, wherever. Books that I read, novels that I read, all those things. What am I hearing? What type of music, what type of inputs, what type of friends do I have? All this one has to filter. If one really wants peace of mind, one wants to know the self, without this it is not possible. And these are practical things that one can do. If this one doesn't want to do, and then one says, no, I will meditate, and then one says, nothing is happening in meditation, tell me something more practical, then this is all practical. At least start doing this. Control the senses. Take in all that which is inauspicious. Whatever is harmful to me, tell a firm no to the mind, nothing doing, I will not indulge in it. Whatever the society may think about it, that is their problem. My peace of mind and evolution is more important to me. So, Sthirai Rangahi means that FEST, food, exercise, sleep, training the senses. Very important. Sthirai Rangahi Tushtuvagam Sastanubhihi. Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu. Whatever Ayu Devatas have blessed me with, meaning based on my past karma, whatever is my lifespan, may I live that lifespan in a good way. This whole line has to be taken together. This lifespan that is allotted to me, may I live in a healthy and happy way. The quality of life is more important, not the longevity. Longevity has its own importance and it may be necessary sometimes, but the quality is more important. And we should know very clearly that nobody can extend the lifespan by 1 minute extra and not end it 1 minute before, no matter what one tries. That's a prarabdha which has started. When it is to get over, then only the body will drop. Healthy people drop dead suddenly. And some person who has been in coma goes on for years together. The prarabdha is not yet over, is still there. When the prarabdha is over, that person will drop. So the body will drop only at the right time. We don't have to worry about that death at all. We have to worry about what is the quality of our life. What are we doing with this human life? Other day I had posted one quote that's based on this. As I was reflecting, that life will not postpone our death. So we should not postpone our moksha. Death will come at the appointed time, not before, not after. And what is that appointed time? We don't know. So why postpone moksha? Start the efforts from now. If one has already started, intensify it. That's all we can do. And when the time to drop comes, may I drop it happily. Not with pain. No, I want to live little more. I want to see the wedding of my grandchild, then I will go. Nothing doing. All jivas, all relationships anyway are temporary. What wedding, which what? After the body drops, there is no grandfather, no grandmother, nothing. One is again going ahead with some other jivas. One is manifesting in some other place. We are like that, pieces of straw. Adhyatma Ramayana, Vedavyasji, he says, pieces of straw, they float together for some time in the river and then they part. Do they bother, no, I will flow for this much time with this piece, then only I will part? Nothing, it will part. When the time has to come, it will part. Full stop. Our connection is with Bhagavan. That we have to remember all the time. Other connections, they come and they go. That moha one should drop. If Bhagavan wants me to attend my grandchild's wedding, I will attend. Otherwise, Ram Bhajan. Whenever it has to happen, if Bhagavan comes saying, come, I've come to take you now, you come with me. Yes, ready. Let's go. That is one test of detachment. One should ask oneself, if at this moment Bhagavan comes and tells me, chalo, let's go, am I ready to go? If I am not ready to go, what is that which is holding me back? Those are my attachments. And the base of all those attachments finally will be some karta bhav that this has to happen. Bhagavan does everything, he knows, no. If he is taking me away from this place, he will put somebody else if that has to happen. Why am I bothered? No, if I go away, who will take care of my children and my family? Bhagavan only will take care. He is only taking care of them right now through you. He will take care after you also. He was only taking care of them before you also. When the child was in the womb, who was taking care? You were taking care. You were giving the mother things that necessary it were, but after that, Bhagavan is only taking care. So we are people who have some of these ideas, then we get bound in this world. So Bhagavan says, if I drop this doership and surrender to the Lord, saying everything happens by Bhagavan's grace, if he wants me to drop now, I drop this body. Over. Karmas will end. I will drop and go. So that is the quality. So we live with love and detachment. As long as we are here, be loving to people, do our duties, sattvic way. And when we have to go, we go. Because that is the truth of life. Whether we accept it or not, the faster we accept it, the better. So, Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu. My prarabdha it is. That faith one should have either in Bhagavan or in one's own prarabdha. That till the body's prarabdha is not over, it will not drop. So keep doing sadhana as much as one can. 2 lines we have seen. More we will take up in our next class. For today, we will stop here.
Thank you, Swamiji, for that wonderful knowledge. I would request everyone, if anyone has any questions, please post them in the chat box.
You can raise your hand also. It will become easier because when I'm answering, then I won't be reading the chat. So you raise your hand and I can unmute you and then you can ask the question.
Okay.
All right. No questions, I think. Go ahead.
Okay, Swamiji. So we will proceed with the Chinmay Aarti. And the Yajman, the Aarti Yajman for this discourse is Srimati Preeti. I am also putting the link for Yajman on the chat box. So if anyone who has benefited and wants to be a part can always sign up to this.
आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरुदेव
So there is one question that has come. I am not clear on how to detach in day-to-day actions, how to deeply care and be responsible and detached at the same time. So the question comes because many times we confuse detachment with the notion of disinterestedness. So love and detachment, they go together, because detachment is not from the person. Detachment is from my insistence and expectation. The person has to be like this only, behave like this only, and follow what I am saying. If I do my best and I leave the rest, that is called detachment. Each person has their freedom to behave the way they want to behave, do what they want to do. We can guide, we can tell, and as per the age, those dynamics change. When they are children, it is different. When they are youth, it is different. Those dynamics change. But the bhavana is, I do my best and I leave the rest. I don't feel insulted that they didn't listen to me, nor do I feel that because of me only they achieved all these great things. Then all those are my insistence and my ego and achievement, my ego and attachment. So the best way is do the best, leave the rest, know the line that till this much I can do, beyond this I can't do, beyond this it is their life, their choices, their prarabdha, they have come with certain karmas, they will have to go through it. I'm always there emotionally to be there for them, to help, to support in whatever way I can. That's the best I can do. Like how when a child is sick, the mother will give the medicine, prepare the appropriate food, give, etc. But after that, it is the child's body. That child has to recover with that medicine. And if the medicine has to change, the doctor has to change, all that the mother will do. But if the attachment comes into play, then what will happen? The child, the mother may not be able to do the duty objectively. The anxiety, the attachment will make the mind clouded. So one can't do what can be done, so the best one can't give. So that's why what Gurudev used to say is this: do the best, leave the rest. That is in simple form, detachment, and drop the insistence. Then the love also will increase, because when I drop my insistence, I can accept more. I'm able to understand better. I have more empathy. I'm more sensitive. So then that is how they both go together. Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Swamiji, there's one last question that has come in.
Yes.
It's from Prakash Badlani, who says the purpose of life is moksha. What happens when one kicks the bucket early?
See, purpose of life is moksha, but it is not that only in one life we get moksha. What the Lord says in the Gita, that where one has continued, from there the journey will start. And anyway, actually the whole journey from lifetimes is towards moksha only. So if based on karma, the body has dropped, it does not matter. The sadhana will still continue in the appropriate life. When the right environment one gets or the right human body one gets, it will continue. So nothing will go for a waste ever. And one doesn't have to restart again from the beginning. So purpose of life is moksha, not just this body. So every life one takes, till one doesn't get mukti, the life after life one will continue. And if one is a sadhak, Upanishads give that assurance also that one will be able to continue the sadhana even in the next life. If one has done those upasanas properly and follow the spiritual path, disciplined way, all that, one will be able to continue. So don't think that there's any loss. Nothing will be lost. One will continue again from where one left. 6th chapter at the end, you will find these shlokas which are there in the Gita. where Bhagavan says that that person continues, will be born in a appropriate environment, either in a yogi's house or in a well-to-do person's house as per their karma, and then the sadhana continues. Okay, so we will.
Swamiji, one Malti ji has raised her hand.
Yeah, I unmuted her, but there's a lot of background noise. See that?
Okay.
Yeah, Hari Om Swamiji, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Swamiji, you said that you have to listen good and you have to hear good. Sometimes we are born in a family which may have different thoughts, may not be good for our progress. If you say an organization also, or if you say a country. So sometimes when we have all the knowledge, and that time we are walking on a double-edged sword where we have a lot of compassion and empathy and love to lift everyone up. While we are walking on a very dangerous path, but still we would like to lift everyone and in the process grow simultaneously.
So what is the question?
You said we have to be away from people who are negative.
So until we are not established in our sadhana, we cannot help others. First, we have to get established and grounded. No, if we don't get grounded, and if we think that our mind is most unpredictable and it's a dangerous path, anytime we will fall. If I am only falling, how can I lift others? So I should become steady in my sadhana first. Then I can help others. And to become steady for temporarily, for some time, if I have to withdraw, if I have to ignore whatever is the situation I am in, appropriately, I have to see that I take only good inputs and I protect my mind. It's like the tree. When it is strong, it will survive any cyclone, winds or anything. But when it is just a sapling, then a fence is put around that so that the cattle and others don't come and destroy it and disturb it. So for some time we have to put a fence around ourselves, become steady in our sadhana, get established in that, then we can help others. So they don't have to be necessarily all the time together. Once we become strong, we can help. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.